But I want to get into political correctness because at one of the recent rallies that President Trump had, he had a very hard time introducing his daughter, Ivanka, to come to the podium. Take a listen.
I don't know, they'll say this is nepotism, but the truth is she's a you're not allowed to use the word beautiful anymore when you talk about women. You're not allowed. No. It's politically incorrect. No. It's politically, I will never call a woman beautiful again. And every man here, raise your hand. You will never ever say your wife, your girlfriend, anybody is beautiful, right? So I'm not allowed to say it because it's my daughter Ivanka.
It's my daughter Ivanka. Listen, there's so much wrong with that whole thing that happened. It's like he went to do his introduction of her, and the first word that came to his mind was beautiful. And as he was about to say it, he realized he's not supposed to say it. And he went into that whole thing about why he shouldn't say it. And then, since he's not allowed to say beautiful, for all those reasons we're going to get into in just a second, he landed on she's really smart. I want to say this. Ivanka Trump, I'm not a huge fan of Ivanka Trump, mostly because she's standing by her daddy and I don't get it. But she is a smart, accomplished, well-spoken woman who also happens to be beautiful. Why is beauty the first thing that comes to mind when he goes to introduce her? Why is it not her brilliance and her, experience and her, empathy? I mean, there's like a million other qualities that I could say, for example, about my own daughter. And I wouldn't start with beautiful, although I do think my daughter is beautiful. Right? So especially in the guise of father-daughter, especially in the guise of introducing, like if I were introducing my daughter, at her wedding, I might say she was beautiful. But if I'm introducing her at a political rally, I want her at the podium, not because of her beauty, but because of her brilliance. Because of her advocacy for women, let's say, because of her ability to run a company and therefore her ability to blah, blah, you name it. But why is beauty the first thing that he thinks of? That is a puzzle in and of itself. But let's get to his he almost had a dialogue with himself there. Well, you're not allowed to say beautiful. Everybody, now I'm never going to call any woman beautiful ever again. This sounds like the kind of argument I've had with my father back in the day, like where you make one, not about him calling me beautiful, but just like if you accuse somebody of something, then the answer is, well, I'm never going to do anything like that ever again. You don't like how I loaded the dishwasher? I'll never touch a dish ever again in my life. I won't even eat off a dish. There will be no dishes in my life. I will eat with my fingers from now on. Will that make you happy? It's like this weird over-exaggeration that is not what women are asking for, to be clear. I don't think women have a problem being acknowledged as beautiful. I think women have a problem only being acknowledged as beautiful. And being valued for beauty above everything else. I want to look beautiful. I spend time in the morning doing my hair and my makeup and putting on an outfit, and I want to look cute. I know my good side. I turn to the camera, so my good side is showing. I care about all of that. But I also want to be valued for my brain and my, ability to be a good friend, a good mother, a good sister, a good boss, all of those things. And so that is to say, I'll never call anyone beautiful again because, it's not politically correct, is nonsense. It's nonsense. The reason people don't want President Trump to call his daughter beautiful is because he does it in a really super creepy and oddly sexual way. That is why. It is not because women don't like being called beautiful.
Right. There's a difference between saying, I think my daughter's beautiful, and I think my daughter's beautiful. There's a very different way of that. And
right.
He tends
and
to
putting
lean
your
towards
hand
option 2.
like on her waist, very close to her breast, and like saying things which he's been recorded saying in the past, like if she weren't my daughter kind of thing, which is super gross. Right. So that is why people don't like when he only refers to her beauty. Not because women don't want to be called beautiful. That is taking political correctness too far. It got me thinking about political correctness on the whole, and I do think there's a discussion to be had here. It's maybe one that we'll have, for years to come. But I think there is a difference between political correctness and cultural sensitivity. I think it's different to overdo saying the right thing because someone said blah, 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 than just thinking about what you're saying and how it may affect other people in the room. I think those are there. Maybe it's a subtle difference, but I think it's one that if we dig into, we might be able to get ourselves to a better place